DramaCityProductions.com.
You are plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Space is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the one and only Troy Adams.
Yes. It's Yesling Wednesday, which means that we are about to go one-on-one with the Podcast Wrestling Society as we cover WrestleMania 30. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and it's time to wash your mouth out with Troy Adams. And joining me today is a man who knows a thing or two about shows with 3 X's in the title. He is the Randy Orton to my Batista. Give me what I want! It's Greg. What up, Greg?
What up? Damn it, I was going to use that.
Oh, the give me what I want. Dude, those segments have been getting a lot of hate online. I love them. I freaking love Batista.
I thought it was funny until my buddy killed it with his damn notification.
Oh, is that his notification thing?
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's awesome. But I can see how it could get annoying. Dude, WrestleMania 30, you and I were supposed to be there, man. We ended up...
Yep.
We ended up going to
I still find it funny how the one we ended up going to was there still.
Yeah, I know. And then we were both like, not a, great place. It was fine to see for a few days, but going home. But, It is what it is. The show was good, at least. I'll say that. WrestleMania 30, I don't know. I mean, it didn't suck. It just, I don't know. It was just, to me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
There were a few moments in the show where I was just kind of like, what the hell? Why? Overall it was...
Yeah, there's some
okay.
people we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I'll jump ahead, but yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure what everyone knows.
Yeah, pretty much. A moment that, made me cry like a grown man. Only like a grown man cries. But...
Wait, you grew when?
Eat me. You want your mouth washed out with Troy Adams?
No?
Okay, well, then shut it. But before we get into everything here, I do want to let you all know, if you haven't been to the new DramaCityProductions.com yet, it is awesome. And if you put in DramaCityProductions.com/PWS, you can buy our merch. A guy on YouTube this week was actually asking if we have merch. And I said, yes, in fact, we do. Here's the link. So you go to that site, you can listen to all of our archived shows, and you can click on merch or more merch. Go to our stuff. Good stuff. It's good. But, yeah, and then go to WrestlingWithWrestling.com. The guy who runs the website frequently comments on our stuff on YouTube and various podcasts and whatnot. So, yeah, WrestlingWithWrestling.com got all the latest news that we don't cover anymore here on the podcast because we're trying to get a more shorter, succinct format that will be more pleasurable to your ears. You know what I mean there, Greg?
No, tell me more.
Hey, it was more pleasurable to Ramon's ears, apparently, so there's that. I don't know if that came out sounding weird or... whatever, I'll leave it in there.
Touching that.
You probably shouldn't. Leave it alone. But anyway, I did want to talk to you about one thing here. It's sort of a news story, but more of an opinion thing. First of all, since you are, as of the posting of this, you'll be in New York. What are you looking forward to doing in the York City of New?
Everything.
Oh, yeah?
I mean everything.
Like street corner, everything? Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Vegas. Yeah,
I'm just going for the indie shows, nothing else.
Oh, yeah, you're flying out on Sunday. 'Cause who the hell wants to see that crap? Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Somebody really said that. Go look up Ant Lover on our YouTube.
Or don't.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah, so you're going in Wednesday. You'll have a few days of just like sightseeing and whatever.
Ramon hasn't seen Liberty Island yet, so we're gonna do that. We're going to the Rangers game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday is up in the air at the moment.
Who are the Rangers
Friday,
playing?
of course, is NXT. Saturday, we're going to go to the Mets game where they're giving out a bobblehead with the guy holding the WWE title.
Oh, nice.
And then that night, it's probably Ring of Honor.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, for all of you that don't know, I mean, well, as of the posting of this, I'm sure it's, spread around, but the Hart Foundation's going in. I guess with Jimmy Hart? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of how they're like, kind of use the word bastardizing the 2-ring thing. It's like they're going to give out a second ring to 3 people this year.
Yeah, I know.
That's yeah. I mean, and then when we saw the card for Ring of Honor, they kind of revamped it. Like, yeah, we'll go to this.
Yeah,
so,
I know. And
I don't like it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's 2 tag teams and a stable going in. It's weird. I guess they felt they couldn't justify Jim Neidhart by himself because, I mean, he didn't exactly.
Why?
I mean, he didn't have a stellar singles career, but
well, no, whatever. But they could have had Bret Hart do the induction. I mean, that would have made sense too. Therefore, would have been full circle.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I'm gonna watch because I always do, but I'm gonna have that like on the side of my screen. Like I told you before, I'm gonna split screen it. I'm gonna have Ring of Honor New Japan on one side, and then I'm gonna have the Hall of Fame on the other side. So
I think they start an hour apart. I think Hall of Fame starts first. So I told him, like, if they can guarantee that DX would be the first thing, we could go to that and haul ass over to Manhattan.
That's a long haul, dude, because that's a 20-minute.
No, it's only 18 minutes. No, it's not.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. Well, it's a 20-minute train ride, ish.
Oh, so it could still happen.
Yeah, if you can guarantee that you can get your ass out of the Barclays, down to the train, hop the train, get off, and then get into MSG in enough time on top of that 20-minute ride. So I don't know. It is New York, so you never know. Yeah, I mean, it'll still be good. I'm looking forward to it. One thing I did want to ask, because you're the UFC expert between the two of us here, I wanted to ask your opinion on the whole TJ Dillishaw thing.
Oh man!
For those of you that don't know,
all I can say is it makes sense.
For those of you that don't know, he tested positive for a quote prohibited substance on a New York State Athletic Commission test. So he had to relinquish the UFC bantamweight championship.
Oh no! Well, he didn't have to. He just did. And that tells me he's guilty. He didn't fight it or anything. So.
He also they also announced a 1-year suspension and a $10,000 fine, dating back to January 19th, the night of his loss to UFC flyweight champion Henry Cejudo.
And what's funny about that? He lost in 40 seconds. So Cejudo beat the hell out of a cheater. Just think about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, there have been quite a few times we've seen it's like, dude, you were doping and you lost. Like, now it's not even like, well, at least I won. It's like, no, you still lost. And that he lost hard. Looking ahead, there are several events without a main event at this time, with the earliest being UFC on ESPN Plus, May 18th. So they could put the championship on the line there.
No, it's already been made. Hold on, let me find it.
Oh, is it? Oh, because here Wrestling Observer doesn't have anything about that. But then again, the story was posted. Shoot, when was it?
I'm just gonna overlook
20th.
that you said Wrestling Observer, but whatever.
Hey, at least I will say this: at least their MMA coverage is usually fairly down the line. And this was written by Josh Nason, who is, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Who I would trust him over than an article written by Uncle Dave. So.
Henry Cejudo versus Marlon Meros. I don't know who the hell that guy is, but it's for the bantamweight title.
No, yeah.
Cejudo deserves the first shot. He beat the champ, so.
Yeah, it said something. In this article right here, it said this would open the door to top contender Marlon Moraes. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, to get an opportunity to fight for the bantamweight title, likely against Cejudo. Boom. There you go.
Anderson Silva guy. So.
Oh well, there you go. That's pretty cool. Yeah, look, when is that fight?
They're targeting June, I believe.
Oh, geez. They must have plans for the May 18th card then. Whatever. So, I guess Dillashaw won't be seen for quite a while. That's what happens when you dope, I guess. Only dope's dope.
Do drugs.
Yeah. Where's LT? This reminds me.
Yeah, that's the authority.
He was on The Waterboy. And I always trust Adam Sandler movies. That's always my go-to.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Sandler is the authority. Or not. Whatever. Ignore that I said that. But yeah, so while we're here, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk WrestleMania 30. We'll talk... You've had quite a few live experiences at WrestleManias, so we'll talk about those all around WrestleMania 30. We already stated you were not at 30, but, Mania's around it. And we'll kind of talk about those cards compared to this one and whatnot. Some personal stories, and we'll talk about New Orleans as a whole, because you and I were there last year. And now you're going to be instead of New Orleans, you're going to be in New York this year. So there you go.
New York.
So we'll be right back after we tell you about some other great podcasts here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network.
Drama City Productions.com.
You don't listen to the heavyweight chumps? Well, they're only the greatest podcast that wrestles with pop culture. You don't believe us? Well, listen to some of their fans. And for those of you that don't speak cricket, here's our translator, Mr. Harlan T. Bobo.
It's like cotton candy in my ears right now, man.
The Heavyweight Chumps. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Every Monday and Thursday, same fat time, same fat channel.
Drama City Productions.com.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
All right, we're back to talk all things WrestleMania 30. So, Greg, you were at 20... no, you weren't. That was... Ramon was at 25. You were at 29. 9? Okay. That was New York, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you were at the year before this, the year after this, but you skipped this one.
Yeah. I forget why we didn't go.
Yeah, there was a reason. You and I have both forgotten, but yeah. So, but you were at 30 or 29, 31. You skipped 32, right? And then you were at 33, 34, and you'll be at 35.
Right.
So you didn't go to Jerry's World when your boy main evented. Actually, both of your boys. I could have said that about either one of them. So.
True.
But this took place April 6, 2014, the Mercedes-Benz Silverdome, brother.
Silverdome.
In New Orleans, Louisiana. Total attendance, 75,167. This show, like, looking at the amount of matches on the card, you're like, you'd think, wow, that show must not have been too long. But it was longer than you think. This was also the first WrestleMania on the network, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It suffered from a lot of lagging problems.
Yeah, well, because they estimated with the signups beforehand how many people, and I assume there were some last-minute signups, which, I mean, I would have accounted for if I was in their shoes, but apparently they did not. So, yeah. And there are some people to this day, and I didn't even think about this, but Uncle Dave, oddly enough, had a good point about, he said, 20,000 plus order the pay-per-views every single month, like actual pay-per-views, not the network, because there are people in the United States to this day, oddly enough, whose internet is not strong enough to, stream something real well. So they just can't watch it on the network. I didn't even think about that. I mean, you and I are in areas where we have good internet speeds. I guess there are some places out there that don't, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, It's weird to think that 20,000 plus still order their pay-per-views every single month. Can you imagine spending $60 on Battleground a couple of years ago?
No, because I wouldn't have bought that, so no.
Well,
I cannot imagine spending money on that.
No. Well, they're going off of, because 20,000 people actually, roughly, evened out here, ordered Fastlane last month.
Oh, well, that was actually a good pay-per-view, though.
It was. I mean, it had its ups and its downs, but I think overall it was a good show. Yeah, I thought it was good, especially like being there. I thought it was a great atmosphere, and it was my first time in the queue, so it had a lot of great memories for me. But yeah, so what was being at 29 like?
It was really cold.
Yeah. Prepare for that this coming weekend.
The guy I was sitting next to, besides Ramon, was a huge fan, so we were chatting. He was at WrestleMania 20, so he was telling me how cool it was.
Oh, nice. So he was a native?
Yeah. We sat behind the stage, too. So I didn't see much. Not happening this time.
Nice. Hopefully you don't have an obstructed view in MetLife.
Like I said, I remember it being very cold.
The only thing...
It wasn't the best WrestleMania ever, obviously, but I thought it was fun.
I mean, it had two matches on the card that I thought were fantastic. It was, Undertaker and Punk, and then Cena and Rock 2.
I remember it so vividly, sitting there, and you messaged me. You're like, WTF, they gave Swagger a jobber entrance. Like, that one stuck with me.
I forgot about that.
You were like legit pissed.
Because he was in the world title match. I was like,
I know.
The hell? That, yeah, dude, that just showed how much he meant to them. The frickin' Intercontinental title was the pre-show match, okay? Miz and Wade Barrett. Good Lord.
And Miz was a face, and he will be again this year. It's weird.
Yeah, right? And it's odd. Well, and the Shield defeated the most random team ever, Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus.
Yep.
And this was the amazing match of Mark Henry versus Ryback. There you go. I mean, man, you got a good one here. And Fandango beating Chris Jericho. Golly, that was good stuff, man.
Shut up and take my money.
The last three matches were really good, though. Taker and Punk, Triple H and Brock, and Cena and Rock. So, and all three of those went over 20 minutes long. So the rest of them were 10 and below, or excuse me, 10 and a half and below. So all in all, 29 was okay. The end of it was good. 31, you were there because it was in your neck of the woods. I don't know. My memory's weird with WrestleManias, unless I was like blown away by it. I don't remember like full, like this happened, then this happened, then this happened. I remember obviously it was Sting's WrestleMania debut against Triple H. I absolutely hated his entrance. I think you and I kind of agreed with that.
I don't know what it was.
I was like, so you've got like Chinese drummers up on the stage. Okay. And then Triple H comes out like the freaking Terminator. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, that was badass.
Well, no, I mean, that one was cool, but I'm just saying it's like he comes out like that. Sting comes out with freaking Japanese drummers like he's Great Muta or something.
That was a spirit. I don't know.
I don't know. It was weird. That card was cool. I mean, had Rollins and Orton was awesome. I know you didn't like Rollins cashing in at the end, but I lost my crap. No. I about went through the freaking roof of my apartment at the time. I was like so excited. Mania 32. A lot of people crap on that show. I don't remember anything except the main event.
That's all I cared about.
Yeah. And it's like universally panned from start to finish. I didn't hate the main event. Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles was cool. It was AJ's WrestleMania debut. I mean, I thought the wrong person won, but, that's whatever. Zack Ryder got his moment at the beginning of the show. That was cool. And I think everybody universally, believes that the women stole the show in the triple threat.
Yep.
So, and then The Rock had that weird thing that he did with a flamethrower and then beating the crap out of the Wyatt family. I don't know. It was just, I'll say this. It was a weird show. The League of Nations beat the New Day. Brock Lesnar had a nothing match with Dean Ambrose. The Undertaker and Shane McMahon was weird, and then they completely erased it from history the next night. So, I don't know. It was just an odd WrestleMania. And like I said, Jericho going over Styles in his WrestleMania debut. It was an odd night. And then we had Zack Ryder's.
Well, it could be everything you want, and then it becomes predictable. So.
Yeah. Well, and then Zack Ryder got his.
Is it weird?
Yeah. Well, Zack Ryder got his title reign ended the next night too. And then the Usos defeat the Dudley Boys in a tag match in 5 minutes. And didn't they beat them again on Monday or something like that?
I don't remember.
I remember they had a rematch though for absolutely no reason. I think it was a tables match, and I think I can't even remember what happened. But this was the one where people had trouble getting into the building, and there was nobody in the crowd for Kalisto versus Ryback. I remember that. Do you remember that? It was you could have heard
I do, because when
drop.
we went to next year, me and Ramon were worried about that.
Yeah, I remember Ryback was very vocally upset about it. I know, Ryback being vocal. Who knew? But yeah, nobody was there
Big
for that.
Guy's upset.
And Kalisto went over Ryback, so that was funny. This was, good lord. You remember Team Total Divas defeated Team Bad and Blonde?
Yeah, because that was great.
That was epic, man. It was the WrestleMania debut of Lana, I think, Summer Rae, Eva Marie. Oh God, so much non-talent in this match. It was great. I will say, I thought WrestleMania 33 was really good. I could be alone in that. I think you liked it.
I still think to this day it's my favorite I've been to.
It was really good. Neville and Aries on the pre-show. I thought Mojo Rawley winning the Andre Battle Royal was, it was weird but cool because nobody saw that coming. Styles versus McMahon was better than people thought it would be. KO versus Jericho was what it was. Bayley retained the women's championship, so that was cool.
Yeah, Ramon lost his load that time.
Oh my God. You and I liked Brock and Goldberg. Seth and Triple H was good. And the Hardy Boys returned. So there you go. And look, I hated to see Undertaker lose, but him versus Roman I thought was fairly decent to close the show.
Oh, careful you say that too.
I know. A lot of people disagree. And Naomi winning the championship in that six-pack challenge I thought was really cool.
In her hometown.
Yeah. I think they said that was the first time the women's title changed hands in I don't know how many years. Because if you go through the lineage, the women's title hadn't changed hands since I don't know, the early WrestleMania 20s, I think. But either way, yeah, so there were some down moments, Orton versus Wyatt was a what the F fest. Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice, that was something. But yeah, I thought it was a decent show. We're not going to fully dive into WrestleMania 34 and whatever, 'cause, it's recent memory, but I thought WrestleMania 34 was a great show. New Orleans was fun to see once, and I'll leave it at that. They had good food.
They did.
They had really good food. I like Creole food, so I was fine with that. But WrestleMania 30, I'll say this: I like the Superdome. I thought it was a good arena, all in all. I don't have a whole lot to base that on. I've only been to 3 football arenas in my life, but I mean, I thought it was nice. What do you think?
I loved it.
Yeah, we had good seats, right by the ramp, and there was no obstructed seating since it was a dome. They didn't have to put the roof over the ring like they will this year. WrestleMania 30, the pre-show on it, man, there was only one pre-show match, and I completely forgot about this. It was a 4-way tag team title elimination match. It was the Usos defeating the Real Americans, Los Matadores, and Rybaxel.
Oh, yeah, Rybaxel.
Dude.
That was a team.
Yeah. This reminded me of how often the Usos have been relegated to the pre-show on WrestleMania, and it's a travesty. They're really good. If not, you always say best in the world. I always put them right behind the Revival, but I don't know. Either way, one or two, they deserve better than pre-show, dude. I'm wondering if they're even going to make the card this year. I sure hope they do. Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be a freaking multi-team thrown together New Japan style match, which is fine. It'll be fun to watch, but it's just, I don't know.
Literally what they just did for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. They do it all the time, man. But yeah, so that's what this was. Just look at these freaking teams, man. You got the Usos, which are an actual team. The Real Americans sucked. Wasn't that Jack Swagger and Cesaro?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sucked. And then you got
the Swiss guy. Yeah, Real American.
Yeah, I have a Mattel figure of him as a Real American.
Well, that's not funny.
Well, he's got the white trunks with the American flag on the side. But yeah, and I have a Jack's figure of Jack Swagger too with his
it is.
With his faux hawk. But anyway, yeah, and they had Zeb Coulter with them. They actually did most of the work. You got that thrown together team. You got Los Matadores, which are an actual team, but they sucked as Los Matadores. By the way, I have Mattel figures of them. And then Rybaxel.
Well, that's what we're doing. I got Jack Swagger and Cesaro then too.
Yeah. Well, and then we've got Rybaxel, who I have Mattel figures of, but that was a thrown together team because they started off as Paul Heyman guys for zero reason whatsoever, and then they just became a team because creative had nothing for them.
No. Cesaro because of Paul Heyman guy the next night.
Wait, what? I thought
Cesaro and Swagger, right?
No, Rybaxel.
Oh no, they didn't become Paul Heyman guys.
I thought, yeah, because when Curtis Axel,
it was just Axel when that was it.
I thought Ryback was a Paul Heyman guy for like half a heartbeat, and then they formed that team.
I don't think so. No,
thought they were. Either way, but they formed a team. This was back when Ryback was doing his Ryback rules bull crap.
Big guy.
Curtis Axel was better. I don't know. Maybe. But the Real Americans eliminated Los Matadores and Rybaxel, and then the Usos pick up the win to retain the titles. Hoo-hoo! But the actual show got kicked off. This was probably one of the best openings in WrestleMania history, in my opinion. It was Hulk Hogan coming out first. He was the host. And then we got Stone Cold interrupting him. And then The Rock interrupts him. So we got three of the greatest of all time in the ring at the same time together. You got two eras. It was too bad they couldn't bring out Cena to join them. And then you got the top guys from three different eras.
Hashtag top guys.
Nice. But yeah, Hogan came out, and this was the infamous where he kept calling it the Silver Dome repeatedly, and the crowd started chanting, Super Dome! Super Dome! And he's like, oh, sorry, Super Dome, brothers. And he said he was having flashbacks to WrestleMania 3 against Andre the Giant. I will say, that was a good save by the Hulkster. But it was what it was. This segment was cool. I liked it. Steve Austin said he wanted to lead the crowd in a karaoke version of Jambalaya, but they couldn't get the trademark rights to it. I was like, oh no, I had to miss that.
Darn.
Right? But this was I think the first time in history, I mean, well, maybe not in history, but the first time since, like, in over a decade that Triple H opened the show, right? Like, that's crazy. And,
for a reason, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's just funny to think about, wow, Triple H opened the show against Daniel Bryan. But Triple H had... Okay, I'm forgetting, what entrance did he have here? Was this just the one where, like, Stephanie was on the throne and he, like, came out under her?
No, this is already answered in that red cape. And I think Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss were the women.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember that one. I think, yeah, I have a Mattel figure of that entrance. That's our new thing.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. But, yeah, so, because I'm getting, WrestleMania 32 was the creepiest entrance I've ever seen him do. And that was the one where they had the video of, like, the faceless guys with, like, their mouths, like, closed shut, whatever. And they played that weird-ass video. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, he had a bunch of dudes with skull masks come out, and he walked between them. That one was creepy. Cool, but creepy. This, like you said, it was the golden one that Charlotte just actually remade at WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania, right, where she remade that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, dude, Triple H and Daniel Bryan had a great match to open the show. Triple H, like, quote-unquote, injured
I might actually
Bryan.
say it was the best match in the whole show.
Oh, I definitely would say that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really to compete with it. Every other match was kind of, other than the main event, was just kind of there. There wasn't anything great. I think it just wins by default. Not that it was bad, but it just, like, it wins by default because there was nothing else to compete with. But yeah, Bryan gets the win with the running knee, but Triple H attacks him afterwards and, sets it up for later. That one was, like we said, good. And then we had...
Good.
I try to forget this match as much as possible because the concept was just, It was the Shield versus the New Age Outlaws and Kane.
No, it was not Kane.
Yeah, it was Corporate Kane. Excuse
There it
me.
is.
The devil's
It's a lot different.
The devil's favorite libertarian. But I think during New Age Outlaws and Kane's entrance, I think they were all part of the Authority, right? That's why they were together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all came out together. And I think during their entrance, didn't the Shield come out? Like when they were like halfway down the freaking ramp, and they were like, "Look, we got to hurry this up. Send out the Shield." And the Shield wins with Reigns spearing Kane, followed by a double spear on the Outlaws, triple powerbomb, which is funny to say, by the Shield. Rollins pins Billy Gunn. The one Billy Gunn.
Billy Cakes.
Holy crap.
That's what Edge called him.
Yeah, I remember that. I have Mattel figures of the New Age Outlaws in this era.
Of course you do.
And the Shield. But you remember the days when Roman used to get cheered? Like, man,
yeah.
These were the days, man. Not a single boo in that crowd. But next, after this match, what? 3 minutes, I think? Maybe?
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Sucked. But it got the Shield over as killers.
Clearly off the forcing them to go interrupt the entrance.
Get out there, go now. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal up next. If I remember, was this the inaugural?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this was... Wait a minute, was the Real Americans... Was that Cesaro? Because Cesaro won the Battle Royal. So did he pull double duty?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. So, yeah, he won the... Cesaro threw out the Big Show to win the Battle Royal. He won the trophy. Actually, I do have... It must have been that Cesaro that I have a Mattel figure of because he's got the trophy with him. I'm sorry.
I'm looking right at it. I'm just
like, I'm sorry to keep referencing that, but yeah, it's like I'm thinking about that because
it's become a thing. I mean, it's more funnier when it's a Jax toy. But
yeah. Well, obviously, none of these guys except for I mean, I do have a Jax figure of John Cena, but that's the only one. And Undertaker.
Do, 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 do.
This Battle Royal, I don't remember anything of it other than Cesaro won, everybody blew, and it went nowhere. So that was that.
What are you talking about? He went on to win a tag title.
Oh, man. Multiple.
He became a Paul Heyman guy the next night.
I remember that, yeah.
I'm not going to try to use this as a defense, but I think they had an idea, but then somewhere along the line it went off the rails. I don't know.
Yeah. Paul was like, look, dude, I tried. Next.
Well, Cesaro's not over.
No, yeah, clearly. The Cesaro section sucks. Next, we get Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. This was yet another feud where somebody tried to make John Cena turn heel. I like how that was like the focal point of like 2 or 3 of his storylines, where it's like, turn heel, damn it. And he's like, never.
Embrace fate.
Yeah. This is the 3rd time, because we got it from Nexus, we got it from Kane, we got it from Bray Wyatt. Good Lord, just give up. He's a goody two-shoes. But, yeah, Wyatt hands Cena a chair and shouts, finish me! Swerve! Cena hits Rowan, and then he pins Wyatt, because Wyatt's a geek.
Gotta swerve, bro!
Good Lord. And then next, we get one of the worst Undertaker matches in WrestleMania history, in my opinion. He had an excuse because Brock concussed him, but it was Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker.
I get in arguments with people about that. It's like, look, yeah, he did, but at the same time, it's Brock Lesnar. He's huge. What did you think was going to happen?
I know.
They put an old man in there with him.
Yeah, and Undertaker...
You can't hold him accountable for that, and I never did.
Well, and Undertaker looks very old and feeble in this match. The mohawk and...
I want to see this. He looked amazing the next year.
I know.
When he wrestled Bray Wyatt. For some reason...
I know. He looked fine. Yeah. This one, he looked like he hadn't been in the gym in heaven knows how long. The mohawk and beard didn't help. It was a terrible match. They traded finishing moves, per usual with Brock. He hits an F5.
Let's be honest. The match isn't what people remember.
Yeah, we remember the guy sitting in the front row with the face. Like, man.
He was there too.
I know, and it wasn't him. I'm like, dude, your illegitimate brother was somewhere in the crowd, and you missed him.
Holy crap!
Oh, good Lord! But
yeah, talk about that finish, man.
You could have heard.
I remember I was watching it with a mutual friend of ours.
Oh, man.
A certain Brooklynite.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Spider-Man.
We were talking, right? We had it all synced up.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happened, it was just like quiet as church, man. Seriously, like as a church mouse. It was, man.
Yeah, you could have heard a mouse fart in the nosebleed section. Like, wow.
Like, literally, I've never ever heard that much silence. I mean, even when Apollo Crews comes out.
Oh my God! What about Tamina?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Apollo's been getting some cheers. So, but man, it was just.
He threw Apollo under the bus.
I love him. Okay, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it to make fun of him.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
It's just
who I have a Mattel figure of. By the way.
It's just like they pan. If I remember right, they pan the crowd. Like that one guy with the look. Did he have like a shirt on? I meant the look on his face.
I know.
He had a shirt on. What was that shirt? I remember vividly. He had some kind of shirt on. It was an anti-Cena shirt.
Yeah, it was like "We Hate John Cena" or something like that.
Yeah. But like what I remember is like everyone's quiet. Everyone has their hands on their head. They're like, "Oh my God." No, it said "Just Say Yes." It was a pro Daniel Bryan shirt.
Oh, okay.
And like what I remember vividly, like when you could hear something, Paul Heyman was going, "Oh my God, you did it! Oh my God!" Like he was the one losing his crap. Like, that's all you could hear everywhere.
Yep.
It was like so audible. I mean, like he's near a camera. Of course, you're going to hear his voice, but like there was no audience. Like so, it was very audible.
Dude, you could have heard him up in the nosebleeds.
Yep, right.
Like, and dude, it just like everybody just like sat there for a second. The screen said 21-1, and everybody's just like, is this a swerve?
Yeah.
Like, is this? Are we getting
I
punked?
don't say why I thought it was a swerve, or I mean, I don't know, something was going to happen because they didn't play his music for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they just let
Like
him
Brock.
bask in the silence.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, this is dying a death. Play something. Play his song. Get him out. God.
yeah, and just
I wonder, like,
there's a lot of urban legends, like the referee didn't know. Like I don't believe that one for a second.
No.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, why would you not tell the referee? That doesn't make any sense. He's the one that has he would have pulled his
on
count.
him, like 1,000% on him.
Yeah, if he would have counted to 3 and that wasn't the finish, he would have been like, "Oh my God, I'm losing my job." Like, I just cost the Undertaker's
streak.
streak.
The Superdome right there because he's gone.
Yeah,
gone forever.
Wow. Well, yeah, because it was like, wow. After 2 decades, I just cost the Undertaker his streak. Well, I'm not working in this town ever again. But
who the hell won't work in New Orleans? Anyways.
Wow. Not a lot. But yeah, I'm not getting into that. Yeah, it was something. Like, we could do a whole show on that. And we will. Spoiler, we will get to the Undertaker's streak at some point. Just god dang.
It's just like people were mad about it, and rightfully so. But it's like, if someone's gonna end it, why not be Big Bad Brock? You know what I mean?
This is an unpopular opinion. But since Reigns beat him anyway, I would have went with him.
Or Bray Wyatt the next year. I mean, that would have.
What did it do for Brock? I mean, sure, it put him over as a killer, but they still could have done that without this.
He was already the thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's Brock freaking Lesnar.
They still could have done the Suplex City thing.
We can crap on him all day with holding the title and all that, but at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the man's a freaking draw, okay? He is. I don't like it, but he's a mega star. Like, when he's on TV, people watch.
For whatever reason.
Why does he need that?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I think a couple of million are going to watch it. Daniel Cormier knocks the hell out of him in July.
Is that official?
Rumored.
Oh, okay.
No, it's rumored. But still,
weird. Yeah.
The thing is, like, you think about who's going to beat him. Why not be the unstoppable beast? You know, it makes sense in a way.
In a way.
I'm not defending it. Don't get me wrong, but it makes some sense. You know, he's never beaten Brock Lesnar, I believe, like ever. That's going to be his legacy.
Well, not legit. He beat him at SummerSlam when we were there.
Well, he didn't win that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did. It's in the record books, but yeah, he didn't.
BS, but
yeah, but hey,
I got to do that. By the way, that's great.
Yeah, well, hey, that set it up for a rematch.
But the biggest like star ever, or most whatever, had a win, like controversially.
Yeah. It was kind of pathetic, but whatever. I like how he came for his revenge a year and a half later. I'm like,
yeah,
what? Like, it didn't bother you until a year and a half later, and you're like, all right, now.
Maybe I'm biased about this, but that was probably their best match at SummerSlam because the Hell in a Cell sucked.
Oh, you talking the one where Taker had a broken hand, allegedly?
No, their second one.
Oh, okay. I'm
after SummerSlam.
Okay,
that one was really good.
Yeah,
I meant this current trio.
Okay, yeah, yeah. If we're going back like their original, like first time, whatever, yeah, those were better. But yeah, I thought the SummerSlam match was good.
Well, to be fair, Taker was better too. But
yes, I should have been Mark Calloway, but that's beside the point.
Shut up. You have a Jax figure of that?
No, I have a Mattel figure of that. Actually, I do have a Jax figure of that. I forgot. You talking Big Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have Big Evil in Jax and Mattel. So.
Man, it's still a ripe subject.
Well, and then think about this, man. After that match died 1,000 deaths at the end of it, we get the Vicky Guerrero Invitational.
Oh hell yeah,
dude! That you want to pump up the crowd before the main event, man. Here you go. It was AJ Lee, who was the Divas champion at the time. Yes, still the Divas champ. Versus Naomi.
For like another 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Because Paige debuted and whooped her the next night.
Excuse me. That was one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. But AJ defended.
It's funny looking back. That it was mad we didn't go because we probably would have went to that Raw. That would have been a great moment.
Yeah, true. But
instead, what do we get? We got Paige saying goodbye.
I know. That's ironic too. Like Paige made her debut and her retirement both on the same show, or both on the same town. I mean, that's crazy to think about.
Same building, not just same town, same building.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I know, weird. But yeah, AJ, they put her over as a killer right before killing her the next night. She defended against Naomi, Emma, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Oksana. Kudos if you remember her.
Good Lord, you're just listing off all kinds of. Oh man. I can say that because what we got right now is probably the best roster in history. So
absolutely, yeah.
They're all divas, by the way.
Yeah, Eva Marie, Tamina Snuka.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Tamina Snuka, Summer Rae just keeps getting better. Natalia, she's actually good. Rosa Mendez. Yeah, Rosa Mendez.
There's a half of one.
Alicia Fox. Oh, excuse me, Alicia Fox. Layla and Cameron. Whoo, man. It's a whole lot of who the hell is that? But AJ wins via submission. So there you go. Before we dive into the main event, man.
I can't believe that crap. Sorry.
I'm just brushing right past that.
Quick, not veering off. It's like this year's WrestleMania is going to be headlined by women, we just learned. And you look back at that.
Yeah. Holy hell on wheels. And that was 4
That's
years.
night and day right there.
5 years ago. 5 years ago. Half a decade. Think about...
Most of those gone, too, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the only ones that are still there are, let's see, Nikki and Brie just announced their retirement. We still got Tamina, unfortunately. Natalia's still there.
She's not bad. It's just there's nothing going on.
Yeah. And then you got Alicia Fox and Natalia. That's it. Oh, and Naomi. I'm sorry. Yeah, Naomi's still there and doing well. So that's it. Naomi was the only one in that bunch, or her and Natalia were the only two in that bunch that translate well to this era. And Alicia Fox is not bad.
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
Yeah, she's not bad. I don't care about her. She's weird. I don't know.
I care more about her than you, Tamina. I mean, I hate to say that.
Well, that's not really a high bar, Greg, but good Lord.
She is the bar.
Oh, hell.
The low bar.
Yeah. But this was the two things, before I jump into the main event, the two things to remember about the Hall of Fame class this year were, one, the really freaking weird, way too long induction of Mr. T, where he just went on and on about his mama.
Looking back, I'm like, there was another plus that we didn't go to this one.
However, we missed out on Ultimate Warrior. So there's that.
Yeah.
So he headlined it. He died 2 days later. After WrestleMania. 3 days after his induction. That was weird. Very ironic.
You ever go back and listen to his speech, though? He's almost giving his own eulogy. That's the creepy part.
You talking the one on Raw?
Every man beats his last heart, beats his last beat. Like,
yeah,
it was just
they should have
sad.
They should have just played that segment at his funeral and said, "All right, that's it." It was perfect. It was odd. I have multiple figures of him. No matter, we can trash on his wrestling all day, but he was a huge star, and he's very memorable for many reasons.
Well, he had it.
He did. Batista was never known for his great in-ring prowess, but he's a star. So, either way, yeah, that was...
Naked Midian, that's another one.
Oh, hell. I just said Ultimate Warrior, Batista, you said that. I should smack you.
Well, I had to get it in.
I'll tell Ramon to smack you for me. But yeah, and Paul Bearer went in that year. The only reason I specifically remember was because Kane interrupted Mr. T's long, awkward speech to say, if you keep talking about your mama, I'm not going to have time to talk about my daddy.
Good grief.
I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
But that was
that was creepy, man. Like, we all love our mother, but
Yeah.
Dude.
It's become just like a running joke. Like when Mr. T passes away, that's going to be the thing I remember most about him. Like, not A-Team, not WrestleMania 1 or 2, that. That right there just sealed it. Oh, man. But this main event, man, is a triple threat. Daniel Bryan won the right to be in it earlier in the night. Randy Orton was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, carrying around 2 belts, which, I'm sure was just lovely trying to get through TSA. And he went up.
Why? I always thought I was the only one that thought about that.
Oh, dude, they talk about that with the Money in the Bank.
That's good.
They say the Money in the Bank thing.
That I can figure. It's a whole briefcase, but I never thought about, I thought I was the only one that thought about the belts.
I know. Think about the weird looks they get from people as they're going through TSA. Like, what is that? It's my title. My championship title. You have a belt in there, sir? It's not a belt, damn it.
It's a championship.
Break out the rubber gloves. Or the rubber gloves.
Good grief. Why?
Well, hey, you mouth off the TSA, man. You're going to pay for it. But
Yes, that's fair.
yeah, other people, people have talked about that the Money in the Bank briefcase is actually it's become a rib because they said you have to carry that damn thing around through the airport and it sucks.
I'll bet Dean Ambrose, Alexa Bliss, Kane, they were all happy.
Yeah.
They all cashed in that night.
Right? Yeah.
Jack Swagger held it for what? One trip, probably? One car trip?
Yeah, something like that. And then, dude, can you imagine, Seth Rollins talked about how much it sucked carrying that thing around. And he held it
He held it forever.
Yeah, I know. He said he literally carried stuff in it, for his luggage. I would. Crap, I mean, why not? You're just carrying around this big freaking briefcase that says Money in the Bank on it. You think you get weird looks carrying around a championship. Imagine that damn thing. TSA's looking at you like, what the hell do you do for a living? It's like, never mind.
I wear tights and touch sweaty men.
Oh my gosh.
Now there's anything wrong with that.
But yeah, the main event, Daniel Bryan gets taken out on a stretcher after getting put through the announce table by both dudes. He comes back later.
You know
wins
what's
the
funny,
title.
real quick? I gotta say that's the first time I've ever seen someone get an RKO backward.
Yeah.
Remember he got it from the powerbomb.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it was a cool double team move, but I was like, it wasn't really an RKO, it was a neck breaker. But whatever. It was cool. They used that when they started going up against the Shield. So it was all good. But yeah, Daniel Bryan wins both titles at the end of the night. King has the line where he calls it Yeselmania. Good stuff. But, buttload of pyro goes off on the stage. I will say...
pyro.
Right? I will say, I thought it was weird that they were completely comfortable with putting 3 X's up on the stage like that. Like, that was the set. I mean, it looked fine, but, come on. You got a bunch of naked men in the ring rolling around with each other, getting sweaty, and then you got 3 X's up on the ramp.
Well, there was a match with 8 women too, so
yeah, so
they kept it neutral.
Yeah, a little bit for everybody, I guess. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I never thought of that until you said that now, but
you'll never look at WrestleMania 30 the same. Holy hell. But yeah, so we're it's the end of the show. It was what it was. The match was good. I guess. It wasn't the best triple threat to ever close out WrestleMania, that's for damn sure. But it was
I believe it's the only one, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about, Greg, because at WrestleMania 20, it was only
it was 1-on-1.
Yeah,
so.
there was only Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Triple H made himself tap out, and the title went to Vacant, who is a multi-time champion, by the way.
Oh my god,
he's the current NXT champion, and he has not yet defended his title. He will at TakeOver.
Maybe Adam Cole,
baby. I don't know. Ramon wants it to be Johnny Wrestling, which I wouldn't hate that, but
Johnny Failure.
Oh, screw you! Don't. How dare you?
Adam Cole's better. Get over it.
I like them both the same, but that whole crowd's gonna be yelling Adam Cole, baby, like a million times.
It's gonna be the loudest one in history when he wins.
Dude, it was
gonna break the decibel level.
It was pretty loud in the Smoothie King Center when he won the North American title. You and I were geeking.
Yeah.
I could feel Ramon's hatred from all the way from California. I was like, oh man, I feel something. Oh, it's Ramon getting pissed off.
He's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some live. Well, as he's listening to it, I'm gonna get some text messages. Screw you and screw Adam Cole. But yeah, so we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll wrap it up. Tell you our final thoughts on WrestleMania 30, going into 35, how everything's changed in 5 years, and yeah, we'll close it out. And we'll tell you what's coming up next week. We'll be right back.
Drama City Productions.com.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to rise.
Do you like comedy, karaoke, and music history? Check out Karaoke Big E with your hosts Kevmo and Big E every Tuesday on your favorite podcast app of choice. And remember, you can't be a star if you don't shine.
All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly.
We are back, and I guess it's time for a little reception for the show. Overall, what did you think of it?
I thought it was good.
I will say
Better than decent, not great though.
I'll say the critical reception for the show was a lot more gracious than my reception for the show. Not that I hated it. It just,
Well, I mean, a lot of people crap on it because of the Undertaker thing. But, like, if anything, that should add to it. Because, like, it was a shocking moment. Whether you like it or not, it's still a moment. You know, I think it's unfair to, the streak shouldn't end, it's therefore I hated it. That's a stupid way to look at it.
Yeah, that's not, well, that's not the reason.
I mean,
but
a lot of people said that, though.
That's stupid.
That happening ruined my whole opinion of the show. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's dumb. I mean, that's not the whole show. There are various ways of looking at it. I wasn't impressed with it overall.
You're not impressed with their performance?
I'm not impressed with your performance. But Eric Bischoff always brings up, he was like, well, if you have a great main event, it's like if you go to a movie, you're kind of bored, the ending blows you away, and you leave going, that was a really good movie. When it really wasn't, but the ending was really good, so you just think that because that's your last impression. So I'm wondering if that was it because the Daniel Bryan thing. But I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, I mean that's.
This is the Daniel Bryan show. That's all it was. I mean, yeah, there was the streak ending, but this was Daniel Bryan's show. That was it. It was his coming out party, basically. And I don't know. This he didn't suck. I'm not going to say that. That's, there are way, way worse WrestleManias. Think about this. Brock Lesnar is undefeated at WrestleMania in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's something I want to think about.
You and I were salty as hell. So was the dude next to us from NoDQ.com. Shout out. Oh, that was... you remember that?
I forgot he was there. He was there.
Yeah. He was the one that cut the epic promo.
That's right. I remember the Falcons fan in front of us, though, who I was giving crap to.
Oh, he was salty just having to be in New Orleans, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were like, man, what's it like for you being here in the Superdome? And he's like, this place sucks. What's funny is his football team also plays in a stadium sponsored by Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, that's right.
It's funny. But yeah, you and I were salty as hell after that. I think everybody in our, like you, me, that dude, and I think the two dudes in the bar t-shirts were all, like, pissed.
Yep.
Like, all four, there was a row of 5 of us that just sat there silent for a good 5 minutes before we left.
I remember vividly, though, when he won, there was, like, a huge group of guys on the floor, like, maybe 100 or so, like, jumping up and down, happy he won.
I think they were happy that the match was over. I don't know. Dude, that crowd was brutal. Oh my gosh. I've never been in such a hostile crowd in my life.
Well, half of them hated Brock and half of them hated Roman.
And
none of them wanted Roman to win. None of them wanted Brock to win.
Yeah, they all hated the fact that match was even happening. There was multiple beach balls. There were various chants of all kinds. Nobody paid a freaking, dude, it was hard for me to concentrate on the match, and I was actively trying to concentrate on the match. If you have ADD, that would have been a hard time for you to pay attention. It sucked.
I remember I feel like a million people walked up and down. They're coming out with 7 beers each time,
my God, yeah. Yeah, and they wore
remember the guy in the Ric Flair robe with the horrible wig?
He looked like Bobby Heenan about to sneak into the Manhattan Center.
Yeah, that one.
One dude was so sloppy drunk that the cops had to almost drag him up the stairs. Dude, he was on the floor and he had to walk up all those stairs to the top to leave, and it took him forever because he was drunk, heavy set, and could hardly move. It was bad. But yeah.
Well, remember that guy we saw? He kept coming back down. He had two beers in his hand, 2 in his front pocket, 2 in his back pocket.
Yep. I'm like, my God, dude, watch the show. He probably spent just as much on beer as he did on those tickets.
I have no doubt.
Yeah,
I looked at the prices there. They were like $12 for each one of those bottle cans.
God. Dumb. 12
times 6, dude. Do you need a calculator?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Dude, I know you're
$72 each time.
I know. I figured out, I know your opinion on the smell of beer, by the way. Imagine this. I was at a concert and this group of young 20-somethings were next to me, and it was an outdoor venue. They kept walking back and they kept giving this one girl money to go back and forth to get beer, and it was the big gigantic cups of beer. She dropped one directly behind me, went all down my side.
Oh man.
I was
Didn't you get some
furious.
at SummerSlam 2015? I thought
I tipped over a beer with my butt.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. And then I tipped over a water the next night. That was the next night, yeah. That is where I learned walk butt to the crowd. So, yeah.
Look at my ass, not the front. That way I don't spill your beer.
Yeah. Good Lord. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, real quick, just some of the reception. Here's where I'm saying other people had a much more favorable opinion than I did. Slam Wrestling gave the event a 4.5 out of 5. That's wow. Pro Wrestling Torch gave it an 8.75 out of 10. Why? Nolan Howell of Slam Wrestling commented that WrestleMania 30 brings the beginning and end of eras. He gave the opening match 4.5 stars.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe. He gave Undertaker Lesnar 2 stars. Maybe.
I don't think it was that bad, but
yeah. He gave 3/4 of a star to the Divas match. I mean, what else are you gonna give it? And then he gave
give it a star, man. My God.
Then he gave 3.
I never got that 3/4 crap. I'm sorry.
He gave the main event 3 3/4 stars. Overall, he gave the event 4.5 out of 5 stars. Gosh. Dave Meltzer. Oh, here you go. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer.
Oh, this is the one I wanted.
He summed up WrestleMania 30 as a, quote, very newsworthy show, to say the least. I'd say so.
Show of hands. Who cares what Meltzer thinks?
Man, everybody kept giving it high marks. I'm like, all right, it was shocking, but I don't think overall it was an amazing show or anything. This year, however, I think will be a great show. There are a couple matches that I'm just oh, God. Not oh, God, I don't want to see it, but really is a Mania match? All right. But there's not I will say this, there's not a single match on the card that I'm it's going to suck. I will say, if Ray versus Joe is the final match, that's the final U.S. title match, it'll be what it is.
I'm a huge fan of both guys, so I'm
I am, but I don't know. I expected more. And the fact that Ray's yeah, I'm going to face Joe at Mania. I'm are you? Okay. Do you think Dominic's going to get involved?
I mean, I think so, only because they like made it a thing, let us know he was there.
Yeah, because I'm like, why would you show us Dominic unless something's going to happen? I don't know. It's weird. I'm glad I will say this. I hope Miz versus Shane is better than I'm thinking it's going to be, and I hope it opens the show. Because I think if it opens the show, that'll be a hot open. If it's too late in the show, it'll kind of bring stuff down, maybe. I don't know. But I think it's a Shane's usually good at getting the crowd hot to start with, you know? He'll try to kill himself, and I had texted Ramon and I was like, is it funny that the most dangerous guy that always tries to kill himself is going up against the guy who never does anything dangerous ever?
No.
It's such a contrast here, but it'll be fun to watch. I've enjoyed the storyline so far. As of the recording of this, not every match is finalized on the card, so I'm anxious to see Raw and SmackDown to see how that goes. New York's always fun. The card is usually good, except for 25. It had some good stuff, but overall, meh. Ramon was at that one. He's going.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a Jax figure of one of the wrestlers that was there.
JBL.
There it is.
Got to get it in.
Wow, of all people.
What?
Take him. Nothing.
I have a Jax figure of JBL, and then a Jax figure of him as Bradshaw in the APA.
Mm-hmm.
If there's somebody that I should have two of, Bradshaw.
Well, you also have two Rob Conways, so there you go.
Yeah. But, the funny thing was that Ramon told me about that Miz-Shane match. He said, Miz is just there to catch Shane. Like, basically.
You might be right.
Yeah. But it's going to be good. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for
what?
It's going to be good. And fun. Kyle is allegedly coming over to my house to watch the show. We're going to try to live stream some of it so we can, watch with you guys on Twitter. We're going to live stream on Twitter because we have the most followers on Twitter, and we get the most interaction on there. I think that about wraps it up. Next week, you and I, bro, are actually going to do our first piece on a person. And this person coming in with a bang, bro. We're going to talk about the one, the only, Vic Venom himself, Vince Russo. Ooh.
Yeah. And it's going to be different from the last ones, because the last ones are just about him and Nitro.
Yeah, we'll gloss over the WCW stuff because obviously we covered that in length. So we'll just if there's something we hadn't touched on that's noteworthy, we'll mention it, and then we'll move on and refer you to the archives. So the show's not going to be 3 hours long. But we're just going to talk about, because you and I both grew up in the Russo era of both companies. And we had to sit through his god-awful booking in TNA and the many...
What do you mean god-awful? It was...
Yeah,
the
many chants of Fire Russo, all that good stuff. But yeah, so that'll be fun next week. You and I will hop on that. It'll be our first deep dive on a personal piece. Should be fun. No more reviews for this one, bro. We'll get away from those for a while. Thank you for joining me, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody tune in on Sunday on Twitter. Look us up at PodRest Society. You can follow us, and you can watch our live stream where we're going to be watching WrestleMania 35. Greg, you'll be there. Make sure you text me if anything cool happens.
Yeah, I will. I'll text you a picture of me and Virgil together in Grand Central Station.
Oh, hell yeah. And make sure you let me know if you see Glacier and Dink the Clown in the same place at the same time.
Well, we won't, okay? You're never going to see that again.
Oh, God, I forgot. You're right. Yeah, well, damn. Also, let me know if in the winter... God. Let me know if in the wintertime the subways still smell like baked pea.
I can tell you that now.
All right. Well, we'll see you all next week. Later.
Later.
This has been a Drama City production.